If you're thinking about selling your home, you've come to the right place. In today's video, we'll break down the costs and expenses you should be aware of when selling your home. But first, let's roll the intro. Hi everyone, Josh here, and before we start, I just want to remind you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notifications so that I can continue to make more content like this in the future. Selling a home is often a major event in your life, and it's best to be as prepared as you can be for when the day comes. Personally, I've worked in Montreal real estate for the past 7 years and have sold many homes. Often, I've come to the realization that many sellers don't really know what to expect when it comes to the selling fees associated with selling a property. So today, I want to break that down for you in a nice and concise video. So without further ado, let's jump into the first cost sellers can expect to pay when selling their property. I'm sure you could have already guessed, one of the bigger expenses when selling is the real estate broker's commissions. The seller is typically responsible for paying both the listing broker's and the buyer's broker's commission. These fees will usually range between 4 to 6% of the sale price, plus taxes, and are built into every home sale. The commission is split between the listing broker and the buyer's broker. Now sure, you can sell your home on your own and avoid this expense. However, in most cases, using the services of a broker allows you to sell your home for more and cover these expenses without having the hassle and struggle of selling your home on your own. For example, using a broker and their resources allows your property to be exposed on bigger sites like Centris and Realtor.ca, getting more attention from bigger buyer pools and thus allowing you to generate greater interest and maximizing your sale price. Not to mention, there are many other services brokers like myself provide that allow for peace of mind and better results, including market analysis, marketing, drafting of contracts, negotiations, network, experience, and much more. Moving on to another expense when selling, and that is home staging and repairs. These expenses are not always necessary. However, I decided to include it because they can really allow you to maximize your home's selling features. Investing in home staging or making necessary repairs and improvements can make your home more appealing to potential buyers and increase your sale price ultimately. A well-staged home can make a huge difference in a sale. Depending on the services, staging can cost anywhere between $300 or more, and repairs can vary dramatically depending on what needs to be repaired. Sometimes spending a couple thousands of dollars to freshen up the home or bring it up to standard can go a long way when selling. Not many sellers know about the next expense, but sellers are also responsible for paying notary fees in most cases. Notaries in Quebec are the individuals responsible for finalizing the deed of sale and publishing the property to the land registry. Often, sellers are aware that buyers have to pay the notary fees for the purchase, which is true. However, what is also true is that sellers also have to pay an additional fee for the notary to create the deed of radiation for the mortgage related to the property. When you sell a property and if you have a mortgage on the property, even if it has been fully paid off, you are still obligated to have that mortgage radiated or canceled through a notary prior to the sale. Many sellers are unaware of this expense. However, it is common and you can expect to pay the notary between $500 to $1,500 for their services as a seller. If you are breaking your mortgage before the term is over, you can also expect to pay a penalty to the bank. The penalty very much depends on the size of your mortgage, how much time is left before the term expires, and the financial institution. Therefore, when it comes to this expense, I would suggest calling the financial institution you have your mortgage with and finding out what the penalty would be for selling prior to actually doing so. Moving on, another seller expense that you can potentially expect is the certificate of location. As a seller, in Quebec at least, if you have a certificate of location that is older than 10 years, or if you have made any changes to your land or property, a notary will require you to order a new certificate of location through a land surveyor to represent the current state of your property. It is very common when selling that a new certificate of location is required, and ordering a new one with a land surveyor will range between $1,000 and $2,000 depending on the size of the property. Sometimes they can cost even more. Finally, as a seller, remember to budget for moving expenses and potentially capital gains tax. Moving expenses can add up quickly, so budget for those accordingly. And if you're making a profit on the sale and is considered a secondary residence or a revenue property, you might be subject to capital gains tax, so it's essential to consult with a tax professional for guidance and determine what taxes, if any, you might have to pay. After all is said and done, adding up these expenses will give you a good idea of the closing costs you can expect when selling. To estimate your equity at the end of the sale, you can simply subtract these expenses, including your current mortgage balance, from the sale price, and it will give you a very good idea of how much money you will have left in your pockets once your property has been sold and paid off. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the costs of selling your home. If you made it this far, I want you to let me know below in the comments if you knew about all the seller's costs I mentioned today and when you plan on selling. Drop a comment below and let me know. If ever you're looking to buy or sell a property in Montreal or its surrounding areas and have any questions, send me a message or an email and I'll be happy to help. You can find my contact information in the drop down right below this video. That's it for this week's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications for more content like this, and I'll catch you next time.